actor. You know what I mean? They say, "Hi, I'm an actor," and I always say, "Well, what restaurant or bar do you work at?" You know what I mean? It's everybody's trying to get famous. So with Warlord for a couple of weeks, and then I'm doing Volcanic Festival in France and Headbangers in Germany.
Hey, this is Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I have the pleasure to be joined by
Mr. David Reece. Greetings, everybody.
Great to be chatting this evening. So, Rapid Fire Succession on Target Part 2 hits with a serious intent. What was the fire behind this new chapter, and what made you actually decide to go down this road?
Honestly, branding. Last year, a year ago, November, I was in France, and I was starting to realize that I was hitting kind of a peak as far as attendance, as a solo artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I played 4, 5, 6 from On Target every show I do. And what's amazing about that record is that when it was dropped in '92, I was told my life was over. But I didn't know that grunge had not really affected across the pond yet. It took about another year or two to really make a hit here. And when I played Firefest in 2010 and places like that, people are like, "Where have you been? We've been waiting for this for 20 years. This is amazing, So I'm coming home from France, and I start thinking about Mike Tramp and his rebranding of White Lion and the bands that are being booked. People identify with the logo, right?
Yeah, totally.
They know who I am as a singer, but when you put that moniker on it, it opens more eyes. So made the phone call to the agency, to the management that I had at the time, and they're like, "Hallelujah. Well, this opens way more doors," and it has.
Yeah.
So then I proceeded to call. My options were up for some labels that wanted me to come back, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wanted a label that, as you know, as a media person, you do the huge onslaught of media for about 4 weeks, 5 weeks before a release, yeah? And then the day of the release, the day after, it's crickets,
Mm-hmm.
all right?
Yeah.
So knowing Giles Lavery as well as I do at Brave Words, I called him with this idea, and he said, "Dave, if you do this, you've really got to knuckle down and get into the On Target spirit, and we'll sign you right now." I said, "Okay." So I called my partner in mass production, Andy Susamil, who's been in Bangalore Choir on and off over the years, done some records with us and played live shows. And I said, "Andy, this is what I want to do. Let's study On Target. Let's put our minds on it. Let's write something to succeed that record." And honestly, dude, the first 4 or 5 we worked on was not hitting it.
Right.
Because I've done a few BC records in the interim, and there may be 3 really good tracks on each one, but honestly, there's filler. I was never quite there. I mean, Cadence was pretty good, the second one, and then Metaphor was kind of and then I did Center Mass, and that one had like 3 good tracks. But to be honest with my fans and with you, it just didn't have that thing that On Target had. So all that said, I forget what I had for breakfast every day. So to try to put my brain in that space
Mm-hmm.
of 1990, 91, after Accept in 89, what was going through my head? It was hard, man. But the first signal that I knew we figured it out was he sent me the riff to, I believe it was Driver's Seat. And I said, "That's our Slipping Away." So I wrote the lyric with him in about 5 minutes and sang it in the phone. Then Bullet Train came, and then it just started flooding. The gates were open. We're on the right wheel,
Yeah. Well, Bullet Train's had like really good reviews, hasn't it? And it's sort of been charting around the world in the rock and metal charts. So that must be like. Really...
I just read a German review of a Berlin radio station, said it's one of the strongest hard rock records to come out in years. And if you know anything about German press, they'll pick you to pieces. They'll look for something to complain about. But this guy, I just literally read it 10 minutes ago. I was like, Andy, we translate, because my German's not so good anymore. And he said, Dave, it's not that good. And I went, oh. And then he wrote back, it's effing great. And I went, okay. So then I wrote the guy back at the station. I said, could you mind translating? He goes, well, you could do that yourself if you just push this button, but no problem. So he did it.
Right.
And I just finished reading it. So, yeah, radio in America, I have not had in 30 years this much exposure as I had with this album. I was number one with Bullet Train at 97.
Yeah.
KBC is back. It's on rotation there. Metal Shop, it's on rotation. And then Driver's Seat comes out and it hits them.
Amazing. That's amazing, though, isn't it, really, after all these years? I mean, when when you consider, like, a certain rock star 3 or 4 years ago said that rock and metal was dead, well, it certainly isn't. And it's really good. Yeah, it's really good to see.
Well, it's funny because it's such a cyclical thing. I mean, it seems like 80s and early 90s hard rock is really, especially like America, UK, and kind of like the Western European, it's really coming back.
It is.
The modern metal that's all quantized, it's kind of worn itself out. And people are reaching out to the Rat, the White Snake again. And it's really nice to see. I don't know. It's all about, it's dumb luck.
It's strange, though, because like I work in a shop. I'm a manager in a shop, and one of the assistants with me, she's only 19, but she absolutely loves 80s pop and some rock. And it's like 19 years old. So what's that say? 2026, and they're like in stuff from the 80s and 90s. You know, it says a lot, doesn't it? Really, for that period. How strong it is.
That was great music. It was a great era.
It is, and it was.
We killed ourselves off. Yeah, I mean, we committed suicide. Everybody was writing the same big power ballad, and MTV really pushed it to the limit. And I think in my country, America, there was a social shift with parentless children and the darkness of heroin and all of that. So bands like Alice in Chains and Nirvana were kind of speaking to that generation, you know. And those guys were wearing clothes that weren't washed for a month. So just like most normal people, where they look at a guy like me on a stage the size of a soccer field, that's not reality to the normal working man. It's like, oh, these guys, it's not real. It's like, come on, man, this is a clown show.
Totally, man. I know what you're saying.
There were some good songs, you know. There were some really good songs of that decade.
Yeah, absolutely. I can still remember seeing Nirvana, Nevermind, on Raw Power. I think it was 2:00 in the morning, and it was like, what the fuck is that? It was just, it blew a lot of people away, and but thankfully, you've returned with Bangalore Choir with this album. So you sort of hinted on this already, but was there an actual moment during the writing or recording where you thought, yes, this is the direction I've been waiting for all these years? You sort of covered that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm guilty like so many other singers. We kind of went down the David Coverdale road for the early 2000s. I don't know why. I think we're all trying to find the 87 record. I was guilty of it. The Hammond, the one guitar player, the Blackmore vibe, you know, the soulful bluesy rock thing. And I got sick to death of that. And then I went solo. And I played with some pretty young guys. I've been blessed to have good people around me my whole life. And they kind of brought back to me the realization of how great Chris Cornell really was and how Nirvana great they really were. Yeah. And that rubbed off on me musically a bit. So I was kind of like, I don't know, lost in space a little bit doing this and adding my thing to that.
Yeah.
But I realized with Brave Words Records, Michael Brandvold, you know, he's got a great legacy with his work in the media, and the amount of impact that when it was sent out as a press release, you know, some of the singles, and the response was automatic because nobody knows. And it just kept coming. And the good thing about going with Brave Words is that I made it emphatically clear, Michael Giles, I don't want this thing to be silent the day after release in October 24th. And I'm doing interviews with you today in January on the 25th. We're still promoting the record.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that says a lot too. So people are interested in talking to me. It's not in the circle washing machine of media that you see online. I'm getting really powerful media. And Rolling Stone, I've had People magazine reach out to me. That's crazy.
It's good. Yeah. That's
Crazy.
amazing. So with Rolling Stone, was that like a full feature with that? That was...
No, it was just, hi, so-and-so from Rolling Stone. They reached out on my business account, and I'm like, what? Is this fake? And they went in contact with Brave Words. So I'm waiting for that, whatever, if it's they want to talk to me or, but, just for the ego bump, to see Rolling Stone writer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And then People magazine is huge, or it was in America for years. And like, what? And some of them are fake. And they want money. They're from Africa and they're just making up a name. But
I was just getting spam messages like that just before I started speaking to you. Actually, I get that.
Yeah, it's weird. You got to be careful. Don't open it. I asked Michael, "Is this real?" And he goes, "No, that's a fake. Don't touch that." But this is real. He said, "I'll talk to him." So it's yet to be seen if they'll talk to me, but just for them to write me was cool.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, then. So what about, are you still enjoying hitting the road? Do you still enjoy playing live? I mean, is that still like your lifeblood? Yeah. Is that still rocking?
Yeah. Well, last year I was blessed to Giles being the singer of Alcatrazz, of course, and being the A&R guy at Brave Words, called me and said, we're going out with Girlschool, and we really need to push this record live. And we started a month after the release, and I said, perfect timing. So we did about a 3-week run. Every show was sold out but one, and the one that wasn't in Europe was about 85% full. So it was this weird eclectic crowd of like David Reece fans, Bangalore Choir, and then you had the neoclassical Alcatrazz crowd. Then you kind of had this early 80s punk Girlschool, Motorhead-ish style audience, So there was like 30%, 30%, 30%. And everybody stayed till the end of every night. So it wasn't like, okay, they just came to see me or they came in late to see Girlschool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go back out again next November and do a repeat and do like 3 weeks again. It was pretty brutal as a singer. I had one day off, and it was go, 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 because there's no time for hotels and days off in this business. You know that. So we got through it. The crowds were great. I'm going out in May with Warlord for a couple of weeks, and then I'm doing Volcanic Festival in France and Headbangers in Germany. It's slowly trickling in for this year. I'm really trying to get the United States to wake up, but it's funny. A lot of the venues that I started my career in, it's a family-owned kind of entity, right? Most venues. So a lot of the kids have taken over these places that I played nonstop for 20 years, and they've never heard of me. So I used to sell those rooms out, and now they've got like the daughter or the son running in going, who? So I've got some Midwestern bites that are solid, but I have to make it worth my while to get on a plane and go over there and,
Totally. And of course, Brave Words are Canadian, so have you got some things sorted out for Canada, playing live there?
Yeah, that's all included. I mean, it's Minnesota, where I kicked off my career, obviously, is all over it. And then Iowa. And then if you head north into Michigan, you play Detroit. And then you can literally cross the bridge into Canada, into Windsor, Ontario, and then do the market there. That's all talk right now. And until the ink is dry on the paper, I can't confirm it. But God, we're trying, man.
Voice on this record, and your voice in any case always sounds hungry, sharp, and battle tested. Where and how do you tap in to be able to still do what you do all these years since your
rehearsal.
Rehearsal. Yeah.
I sing every day an hour. I was schooled as a singer as a boy, so I follow that mantra.
Right.
It's a muscle. I've lost some. I'm 65 years old. I'm no spring chicken, so in order to keep it, it's like your knees if you're a runner or whatever. You've got to keep them lubricated. And
of course,
I work out. I don't drink.
No.
Gave that up about 8 years ago because I was a full-blown alcoholic, and I always thought that I needed those 6 beers before I went on, and those 3 or 4 on stage, and then the 20 or so after, was normal. But it's a diabolical habit that goes kind of unnoticed until it kicks you in the balls. And then you go, I don't feel normal. And at 3:00 in the afternoon, I need a freaking beer.
Yeah.
And then after I drink one, I drink another 4, and then I'm half in the bag. And then when you listen to, for me as a singer, live recordings or in the studio, the quality of the voice is tenfold because my head's there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my attitude was always there, but I had anxieties, that it's an addiction, man. And
of course it is.
I'm not ashamed to say, I mean, the way it hit me was I was in Copenhagen and I put a good one on that day with a friend of mine. And we went to a blues club. I was invited to sing. And there were 3 guys on stage, but I saw 6. And I'd run into a bunch of Swedish guys before I went in, and they had the 12% alcohol beers, the big ones. And I drank 4 or 5 of those. I don't really remember the gig singing with them. They said I sang great, but I got so violently ill when I went outside that I literally dropped to my knees in my apartment and said, please, God, I don't want to drink anymore. Help me. Because I did that a million times and I'd be drinking at 3:00. Well, I made it the next day dry. We flew home to Italy. And my partner that was with me, he went right to the bar at the airport. He was shaking and sweating, and he was 3 beers and he's back on. I'm like, I just sat there going, nope. But the day after was a Sunday. I drank that day. Right. That would be the 3rd of September. On the 4th, I woke up. I said, I surrender, man. If I want to last and keep my marriage together, I mean, I wasn't a bad drunk. I was just a drunk. Yeah.
Not being able to stop. I know. Yeah.
I've done it all. I mean, cocaine, heroin. I've played the game with everything from 1978 to, but the hardest one was alcohol. Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It is. It's wherever you go. It's hard, and I'm sort of similar. I just stopped. I thought, wow, it's ruined my life a fair few times in the past. Made so many mistakes because of alcohol, and he's just like, I've just like, no, that's it now.
I mean, every time I've been in trouble, a bar fight, getting thrown in jail, getting a ticket, driving drunk, was alcohol.
Yeah, man.
I never got in trouble with drugs because I was always too scared of the law. But every time I've had a problem with a band member or something, it's because I've had too much to drink and I run my mouth and arguments start. And then the band breaks up and, you're a drunk or you're a drunk. It's just a joke. It's an endless mind fuck.
Yeah. Definitely, I can agree more.
But that's how I stay in shape. I try to take care of myself, and I sing every day. I'm in the studio 2-3 days a week.
Yeah,
tracking, and that helps a lot. But it's nothing like stage.
No.
But if I didn't do the regimen, I wouldn't have survived that Alcatrazz and Girlschool tour because that was on and on. I hadn't done one like that in a couple of years, and
I
was a little hesitant, going, I wonder if I can hold up. This is a lot of driving, a lot of no sleep, a lot of sharing rooms, 8 guys in a van, a lot of flu going around.
Yeah, not good.
Cold.
Yeah.
All the elements that could destroy you were standing around every corner. I mean. German weather and Belgian weather in November is not very pleasant.
It's not fun, is it? Yeah, I know Belgium really well, and I mean, I've been quite a lot of times there, and I've been to Ypres, and you think like the Flanders Fields and that, and imagine that during the First World War. Oh my God, it's so.
Can you imagine?
Oh, it's
what
mad.
Those boys endured in those trenches up to their waist in mud and guts and blood and just being shot at all day. Rats chewing on your face.
Yeah.
And they came home.
I know.
Well, a couple million didn't, but nuts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Then Bangalore Choir's always had a cult following, hasn't it? What memories hit the hardest for you, and what's been your best memory of Bangalore Choir to date?
The beginning was I was fired from Accept, and that was alcohol related, actually. And the culture thing, it just didn't work. But going to Hollywood on a mission, because before I got into Accept, I couldn't get arrested in LA. Nobody cared. Everybody's a lead singer or an actor. You know what I mean? They say, "Hi, I'm an actor," and I always say, "Well, what restaurant or bar do you work at?" You know what I mean? It's everybody's trying to get famous. So after Accept, I had that momentum. I'd go back to those same clubs, and they'd point at me and go, "You're that guy from Accept." So I formed the band. I went right into that. The Germans had drilled it into my head about if you want to play this game, it's work. It's not cover band party time. It's rehearsal, writing. And that's what I took from that. Ran into some guys in Hollywood, and you sort through the weak links. The picture's not like this, it's kind of crooked, and then you finally get the nucleus.
Yeah.
And we literally played in LA, you play like once a month. By the time we played the 9th show, in about a year, we had an offer from every major label in California.
Wow.
That's pretty exciting. Then I got Howard Kaufman managing me, who had Whitesnake, and he had Don Henley and Hart and the biggies, John Waite. So I'm in the big dog league, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And that was really thrilling. And then some of the touring we did, was great. But then as fast as it happened, it was over.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when the music business died, we died. Yeah. Everybody, I couldn't go in the office of Howard's. They wouldn't take my calls. It was like we all died. And I remember distinctly standing in the kitchen out in the valley with Janie Lane, Stephen Piercy, and a few other guys that were pretty well known in the kitchen at this pool party, drinking our faces off, going, what happened? Nobody will talk to me. We're like the enemy. I remember Piercy saying, I sold 15 million records for Atlantic and they won't take my call. And, Janie, same thing. I did 20 million records. It's like, what happened? So then we shift into trying to get that sound, right? We all kind of go grungy.
Yeah, Warren did that, didn't they? That's what Janie did, wasn't it? It didn't really work, did it?
And the grunge people knew it was fake.
Yeah,
our fans knew it was fake, so we were double fucked. Yeah. So that was the bad memories of it.
Yeah,
you're on cloud 9, and then you're being shot down by Spitfires. It's a blitzkrieg like 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the first video, Loaded Gun, which is a song I detested when I heard it, so did Kurt Mitchell. I'm not playing that. Well, when you got a guy like Denny Rosenkrantz who started with Santana telling me that's a hit song, you're going to record it.
Yeah.
Trust me, kid. Okay, so I record the song, and then we shoot the video, and all these child actors are standing in line, and guess who's in the video? Jared Leto. I picked him. Who was to know? There's this James Dean-looking beautiful young man. Now he's a superstar. Yeah. He's got his own rock band, 30 Seconds to Mars, and I'm like, that's Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And I ran into him, and I go, you remember me? And he's staring at me like, I know you. I go, Bangalore Choir, Loaded Gun. He's like, yeah. And he told the band, that was my first acting job. We paid him like $100.
Right.
So that's a cool memory.
Yeah, totally.
Playing with Kurt Mitchell was probably one of the greatest guitar players I've ever met in my life, musical people. He really taught me a lot. Danny Greenberg sadly just passed away, our bass player. He died like last year, cancer. That was a horrible bunch of news. But I got to play with him again in 2010 at Firefest because Kieran said, if you get 3 original members, we'll bring Bangalore in. And we rocked it, man. People went cuckoo. And then did a live album that night. It was pretty weird, to be honest. But Danny was, of all of us, was the most loving. Yeah, we're in England. I've never been here. I got some great memories of that. And then working with Andy Susamil, he's actually leaving me tomorrow. He's moving to South America, and we're writing the next Bangalore album now, which we can do with him in South America. But
right.
He and I have been friends since I was in Accept, and he was next door with Udo doing Mean Machine. Right. That's a long friendship.
Yeah, totally.
We know each other pretty good.
Yeah. Going back, I don't really want to talk about Accept too much. With Accept, did you ever have much time with Udo? I mean, he's still going strong as well, isn't he? Is he a little bit older than you?
He's in his mid-70s, I would say. Yeah. But of all I was the special guest on the Steel Factory tour as a solo artist. I did that tour, 38 shows. Called their managements. The guy was named Frank at the time. Frank, I want that tour. He goes, let me talk to Udo. Udo said, absolutely. So I was like the special guest. So you got two Accept guys. Yeah. He's doing great with that tour. I'm promoting a solo record. We're playing for 1,500, 2,000 people a night. But now he's got Peter back. Mm-hmm. He's got the Balls to the Wall anniversary tour happening. I think they just ended it a couple days ago. So, yeah. That was a year and a half of madness. Great shows. We're great friends. I knew his boy. His boy used to be in a band called Damage. Right. And when I would play Bangalore shows, Sven would call me and say, can we open for you? Right. So when his band would open, he'd bring like the 18-year-old crowd. Right. They were kind of a pop, Wolfgang Van Halen style, Alter Bridge kind of thing. Yeah. And Udo would come if he was home. So, of course, the audience would go, oh, the two Accept singers are in the same room together. Yeah, that's, and it was cool.
That's what Song tried to hit on. Like, was it like quite difficult the first time you ever met Udo? Was it awkward or was it okay? Because you both.
He put his arms around me and said, it's not anything to be uncomfortable with. Good luck to you. You're going to see some things and I can only tell you, hold on tight. I don't have any animus towards you. I said, wow, this guy. Because I'd walk by him in the hallway and go, how you doing, Udo? Hello. And then he'd just keep walking. I'd be like, I got to get through to this guy. So we'd go out drinking together.
Yeah, cool.
And there's a video of him and I and Sven at the end of that tour where he's putting his head on my shoulder and I'm kind of crying and saying goodbye when it's Accept. Thank you so much. And I could call him tonight or email him. He'd write back and go, what do you want? What are you doing? I mean, that's a guy. And now keep in mind, they had been to Spain before I jumped on. And he contracted a bone infection in his leg. Right. And the doctor said, go home. This is bad. Mm-hmm. I never cancel. Udo, you have a bone infection. This could be serious. I don't cancel. So he comes back to Europe or Western Europe, and he's on a cane and ripping the crowd apart and hobbling around. And so they taped it with black tape because it was kind of shiny. Right. And every night he sounded the same. He never warmed up. Never. He just played Candy Crush on his phone in the dressing room and said, it's time to go, Udo. Okay. And he'd go on stage and just kill it every night. He's like a Panzer tank. I mean, the guy is indestructible. And one night I think it was Hamburg, the whole backstage area was painted black. It was horrible. The whole theater. And the stairs going to the stage weren't even lit. And that's dangerous.
Of course, yeah.
But the last step was really high. And if you know Udo, he's not a very tall person. Yeah. With that cane, he went to step and missed it and fell flat on his face and bounced his face off a wooden stage.
Jeez.
Right? Everybody ran and picked him up and he goes, I'm fine. Walked out on stage, blood at his nose, killed it. I was on the balcony going, you're an animal. I mean, nothing but respect, man.
That's pretty
Never cancels. He's got a fever of 104. I can do it. Bulletproof.
I love it. All right. Okay, so I can't believe you're 65. Where's the years go, man? It's crazy. Well, I'm 56. I can't believe them. Anyway, you have reinvented yourself so many times. What does keep you still hungry or after all these years? I mean, you could You just hang up the microphone, couldn't you? But it's still going.
I don't know. I took about 9 years off. In all honesty, I had gone through so much after we were dropped with BC, and then I tried my attempt with the solo thing, and it died. And I just kind of disappeared. I'd missed all my hunting seasons being on tour. I'm a Western kind of guy. So I just started training hunting dogs again and bird hunting, which I love. And I ended up in Montana being a foreman for a big ranch outfit,
Right.
and disappeared. And I missed it. It was 9 years of just being a different guy.
Yeah.
For the first couple of years, I just was free. No lies, no false promises, no money missing. And I really enjoyed it. Deep down inside, I kind of would sing to the radio and go, "Oh yeah, the good old days," And I never told anybody what I did.
Right. Okay.
So mysteriously, the ranch boss's wife had internet. Back then, it was dial-up, and she had just kind of went on Wikipedia to kind of maybe check me out.
Yeah.
Where did you come from? And here comes the onslaught of accept. And she's like, I walked into their ranch house and there's all these photos she printed. And I'm like, oh God, I'm busted. She's like, why didn't you tell us? I said, because if I told you, you're going to think I'm arrogant and I think I'm better than you. People react differently to artists. And you know what, Seb? They did. It changed. You could feel the energy.
Yeah.
It was like, well, you must. And our relationship suffered because of it. And I knew it would, because they're cowboys. They have no idea. They don't leave the ranch but once a month to buy supplies, milk. And if they don't have cows to milk, they drive to town, which is an hour, and they go to the Kmart or Walmart to shop. It's a big deal for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So during that time, one of the dogs, the litter of pups I had trained, I met a Canadian guy, because Montana's right there, and we were running competitions with dogs, and I had won some and he had won some, and he started watching my stock and going, I'm an IT guy in Ontario, and I'd be willing to give you a computer system, because one day he was at my house, he goes, where's your laptop? I go, what's that? He goes, dude, you don't have a computer? I go, no, I don't even know how to turn it on. So I traded him a puppy. So he set me up MySpace. Take 30 minutes for the screen to go up, And I put my name in and I set up a page. And that day I had 3 band offers going, where have you been? We thought you were dead. Right. One of them was in England. So I ended up going back to Sweden, and I did that Gypsy Rose thing, like 2004, something like that. But what keeps me going, I'll be honest, there's times where I think, what am I doing? I know. I heard something the other day that was great. I don't get paid for shows. I get paid for traveling. There's no money in it. You get paid for writing in a band. Everything's changed so much. The merchandise is your holy grail. You just pray that. And I was really lucky on this Girl School tour. I mean, my merchandise with this new album, people were familiar, and it was out. The last 3 shows I did, I had no merchandise. So that saved the day.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Everybody was killing. The fans were great.
Yeah.
For all bands. It saved us. Put gas in the vans, and there was a lot of people on that tour. I don't know. I mean, I think if I didn't sing, I would be in a dark hole. There's something about singing that makes me feel complete. That 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that 90 minutes on stage, whether it be a 50-person club or grass pop.
Yeah.
I don't think about anything. I don't have any anxiety. I have stage fright. I get that every night, which is a healthy thing. You use it.
Yeah.
But there's something about that feeling when it's really cooking that there's not a drink, there's not a drug, there's not any pussy, there's no sex, nothing is in, I don't know what the word is. It's just like I'm open. My brain is normal.
Yeah.
So I think if I walked away from that, I would kind of not know what to do with myself. And I like to write stories, lyrics. And if it comes up good, because I'm always piddling, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there will come a time where, you know, if the voice starts to go, you know, with age and I'm having to lip sync stuff, I refuse to do that.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that.
I'll walk away. I'm not going to go out there and sing good 2 days a week and trash 3 days a week and then come back 2 days a week. You know, I'm not going to do that to myself and firstly, and to my fans.
I mean, you mentioned David Coverdale, and I mean, he's called today on he said kissing on White Snake, and I mean, the last time I saw White Snake with David Coverdale, he was getting the crowd to sing most of it because you could see he was struggling. So you know, I guess it does come to that one day. It's just not, you know.
I mean, the hard part for me with that White Snake thing is he knew. I think it was even as far back as the Priest tour, like mid 2000s. He was really having a hard time. I had the same management, and we were supposed to go out on Slip of the Tongue with Bangalore. Right. And he had heard the On Target record. Well, you know, Howard, if you must, you know, we call him James Bond the way he talks. Right? So, actually, Ian Pace calls him James Bond.
He's from the northeast of England up here.
Yeah, we call him. Ian Pace goes, so you like the Coverdale thing? I can see. He basically kicked me off the whole 40 shows, Asia and Europe, because he could hear that I was singing pretty good in those days, and I was called into the office and said, "Tour's off. Dave doesn't want you on the tour. They're going to use European openings." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's a compliment. We'll get you another tour." I was devastated. Yeah, but I went to see Paul Rodgers literally the week before White Snake came through the same venue. He walked out without an opening band, killed it, Paul Rodgers. And then I went to see White Snake, and I walked out. Yeah. Dueling guitar solos for 20 minutes. He couldn't sing. And it was, I paid to see it. I wanted to see him one last time. And it was like, dude, gracefully bow out. I mean, I love you. You were great. You had your day. And he did the right thing. I would have got a sneaking suspicion, though, that White Snake will reappear with a new singer and he'll control everything. You think? Yeah, that might happen, mightn't it? I mean, Hoekstra, I mean, he's got maybe, I don't know, can he sing though? I don't know. He can play guitar. Yeah, Joe or Beach together. Oh, definitely. I know a few singers that could do it really well. Yeah. What about you? You never know. Huh? What about you? Would you be up for it? No, I'm past my prime. I'd probably end up where he did, because Still in the Night and Slide It In, those songs they're way up into outer space. You know, aren't they? That's not easy. No, total classics, total classics. Going back to your, when you first sung, were you in a school choir or something like that? Were you at a cathedral choir or something? Is that what you did? Yeah. Well, I got the bite. I was in school choir in America. Yeah, you're kind of considered a sissy if you played in choir. I got my ass kicked. It was the same many nights. Yeah, and I joined this choir and I was singing, and my teacher noticed that I had some semblance of talent. And my first performance was yesterday with her on a classical guitar, and the feeling I got singing to the school was magic. The sad part of the story is, after I did that, the jealous boys in my class chased me down the street and beat the living crap out of me, you know, and I was on cloud 9, but I knew they weren't going to like it. So she would come back to my mother's house and say, "Please, this kid's got talent. He needs to utilize that. It's a gift." But she goes, "He's not coming. He's scared." So I backed out. Then I started, you know, singing in club bands, and here we are. I mean, I did the top 40 thing from 77 to, 86, 87 when I got into, or 88 with Accept. It's taken a long time. Yeah. What would you like your legacy to be when people look back at your career, and what would you like to have engraved onto your tombstone? Oh, God. I would just say, you know, if they said something like on my tombstone or my legacy, kid never quit. He got punched in the face and he stood up. He took Tyson's punches. He kept standing up.
Yeah.
On my tombstone, I was blessed to end up with a really good wife, which I've been married to since 2014. My kids are all doing well. I want to be remembered as a good person, a God-loving person, and I just I treated people the way I wanted to be treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I'm the same. Yeah, totally.
This is
but you got to be, isn't it? That's how you got to do it, isn't it? That's how you got to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This business, sadly, it's a full contact sport, and there are people out there that would murder their family for a couple of euros.
Yeah.
Just to get out there on stage. I'm not going to do that.
No. Well, I want to say it's been a pleasure as always speaking to you. Last time I spoke to you was about Iron Allies, I think it was.
Yeah,
it was. Do you have then any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Instagram, David Reece in Bangalore Choir. You can find me. I'm pretty active. And then I'm on bands in town. I'll be posting the new dates that are coming up pretty quick. So, yeah, you can find me. If you want to say hello, I'm all ears. Just no weird stuff, and be respectful, and I'll be respectful back.
Some weird people around. But yeah, thank you so much, man. And hopefully we'll catch you in the UK or Belgium or Italy or somewhere